Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and by God, I don't want to preempt anything, but it does look like it's working. So, we are going to take a nice relaxed flight down here from Newcastle up to RAF Lossiemouth, taking some scenery. It's live weather. The last hour it's been changing a bit in terms of going a little bit overcast and that sort of thing, but touch wood, it shouldn't be too bad. If it does get too bad, then we will switch to wimp weather and see how that goes. So I'm just having a quick look. We've got some members of the Discord in. I've put the Discord link in the chat, or if you're watching this on catch up, as I say, you can have a look at there'll be a link in the description below. But I just want to check I am seeing everybody, so I don't possibly too close to see the labels. Yeah. I think Alpha, you were over there, but I don't know if you've moved on, but I'm not seeing you. Of course, multiplayer's being a right pain in the neck at the moment. Just having a quick look to see if anyone's put anything. I've got Discord over here. In fact, I'll move it here so that I don't keep breaking your eyeballs every time I look over there. Right, okay, so. Oh, there we go. No. Is that Alpha? Let's have a ping. Yes, Alpha, we can see you. Nicely timed, mate. Oh, I did like that. I did like that. Right, okay. Let's get going. This is where I have to start concentrating. Otherwise I do silly things. So, because I was fiddling about with the throttle before, our battery's already on, so that's why that's all working. I haven't got the gun sight up today, I've got the GPS. I've never really used the GPS in this, but I thought I'd give it a try, and I've loaded in a flight into Flight Sim, which again I don't normally do. I usually do my navigation in other things like the TDS GTN, but I've got that in there, so yeah, it just saves having to look at little nav map all the time. Talking of which, let's have a look at the route. I'll try and avoid doing a Scottish accent as much as I can, because my Scottish accent is awful. Here we go. So we start off at Newcastle. We are going to head up here to Otterburn. Purely indulging myself here. I was here just before Christmas for a few days. We're going to fly over the ranges, the army ranges here at Otterburn. Head up to Edinburgh. From Edinburgh we're going to go over to Stirling. Normally if I was doing this flight I'd probably head up, follow the A9 up that way, Pitlochry in that route, but I thought we'd do something a bit different. So we're going to head over here to Kilmahog. By the way, apologies for any terrible pronunciations that are made during this flight. I do apologise in advance. Then we're going to head up here. We are going to have a scoot along Loch Tay, and then we're going to weak it over the mountains here, and we're going to go up Loch Rannoch up this way, and then we'll have a look at which one was this, Loch Ericht, and then over here and then back into normal ground, Newton Moor, Loch Inch. We've got the Cairngorm National Park here, we've got Aviemore, and then across to Craig Ellicky. And when I was a kid and we lived up here, I used to, yeah, Craig Ellicky used to come to mind, but it's Craig Ellicky. Over Elgin and down to beautiful RAF Lossiemouth. So you get the idea there. So let's put it back onto the stream, because that's what I always do. I leave it on the map, and then people have to tell me not to do that. Right. Aidenator, are you sorted out now, mate? It looks like, oh no, that wasn't you. I think have you already taxied out? Oh no, there you are. I'm using some third-party scenery, so that might be why we've got some hovering spits. Okay, where did I get to before I started waffling? Right, let's have some fuel on. Let's pump up jams. When am I going to stop saying that? Get some fuel pressure in. Oh, oh. Wait for the red light to go off and then give it another few, just for the hell of it. Right, let's have mags on. Quick check the parking brake is on. It is, that's fine. Going to leave the nav lights off. Let's open those. Let's do some priming. Notice because it's a little bit colder, it needs a bit more prime. 5, 6, 7, 8. Give it another 2, 9, 10. There is a table in the manual that you're meant to use, but of course I'm just going to make a fool of myself and not use it. Let's see if she starts. No. Let's have some more. 1, 2, 3. I think that's a bit quiet actually in the. No. Maybe it's just in my headset. Turn my headset up a little bit. Is the volume okay for everyone? What did I get to? 1, 2, 3. Give it another 3. The 3 I already did. There we go. Back on the power. Let's lock prime. Close the little cupboards there. Let's have the fuel pump on and pitot heat on, and everything else is good. Okay. So weather-wise, as I say, luckily it's cleared now, so we've got a bit, but it is looking well murky, as they say, over there. So it may well be we'll go to wind weather. Wind-wise, we've got what, 8 knots from 311, so there'll be a bit of a crosswind, and 25 looks like the runway de la jour, as they say. We're just going to make it interesting. Have we got anyone? I don't want to ruin anyone else's flight, so let's have a taxi out and see if anyone's around. I'm trying to remember what scenery this is. I want to say I got it on Orbex. Let's have a look. Just because I haven't got labels on. Just don't want to ruin someone's Saturday morning flight by suddenly pitching onto the runway, so let's just move up to the holding point. There we go, and let's have a look. Pings are working. Okay, there's no one there. No one there. And there's no one there. Okay, I think we can safely assume that we can take the runway, and then we'll backtrack it and take it to the yard. She's sounding a little bit rough. If this was Akisim, I'd be a little bit worried about that, but as it's not, I won't be. So I'll just tootle down here, keep to the right side. Although we're British, we're going to drive on the continent today. Maverick, I don't want to disappoint you, mate, but I must admit I'm not a huge fan of big airliners. I tend to fly Warbirds or GA or helicopters. I'm not really into the airliner side of it, so unfortunately that's something you're not going to see on this channel, I'm afraid. Keep it coming down. Well done, that man. We like a bit of humour. very much niche, because a lot of people, even pre-MSFFFFF, are very much into the tube liners rather than this sort of thing. And I don't know if it's because it's what most people's kind of touch with aviation is when they fly on an airliner. Maybe that's the inspiration, but yeah, I must admit it's never been something that's appealed to me. I like this kind of stuff. Although I do fly for a VA, but really again flying King Air, smaller light aircraft, and of course I do the whole Navigraph, and I use Pilot to ATC. You might have had the misfortune to see a video on the channel of me doing that, and that's as close as I'm going to get to that kind of world. Here we go. Right, let's slow her up. There's one already there, good God. Okay, so I'm just going to, where are we down here? Try and leave a bit of room. We've got a Hellcat. Okay, there was a spit there. So I'm just going to leave it short just in case the spit suddenly appears. There we go. Right. Just going to quickly run the engine up a bit just to see if I can hear that. Yeah. It's a little bit... I've now got a Spitfire in the cockpit. Are okay. Possibly just a little bit of goo in the tank. What the hell's going on here? Right, that's interesting. I wonder if it's the mesh. Of course, if he's not got the same scenery, then that's probably why. Right. Okay. Let's go. So let's get some down trim. Switching to whip weather now. Let's get the old flow up. I do love flow. Goodbye live weather. Let's have a few clouds. There we go, that's better. See the ground. Lovely gently. So I'll just circle over Newcastle. I don't think it has clocked the route in there. Never used this thing before. Let's have a look. Yeah, no, I don't think it has. quick spot right, boy. Right, and now I've overshot the... so sorry everyone who's following. Let's do the left turn now and let's get back on track. A little bit quieter. How's the sound? If anyone could possibly let me know if I'm deafening you with my bloody awful voice or the sound from the sim.
knows what I'm talking about. The weather there was absolutely awful, and most of the time we were in cloud.
So there was zero sightseeing to be had at all. So this is coming up on Otterburn. That's Otterburn, the village. And then we've got Otterburn Camp up here. Just checking that I've got the right. And there are, if anyone likes flying helicopters, there are some helipads. I did have a look in the sim, and I don't know if you can see it because the canopy is kind of getting in the way. But there are some helipads that they're kind of, the mesh has kind of played with it a little bit. You can kind of get an idea. I think that's the helipads down there. Oh no, there's the helipads. There we go. Let's just wing over. So you can fly helicopters into here. There's no, obviously this is just baked into the scenery, so there's no official helipads in the sim, but you can fly into there. And this is the, I believe this is the biggest army range in the UK. So I was told. This is where someone pops in and says, actually I think you're fine. Anyway, how is everybody doing? Here we are, 2 weeks back to normality after Christmas. Christmas is long in the past, and here we are, kicked right into reality of the beginning of 2024. The scenery is gorgeous. This is the kind of thing I like doing on a Saturday morning. Just concentrate on look at that, beautiful. It's one of the things about formation flying actually, when people are trying to formate on you, is that there's nothing worse than the guy in lead suddenly wobbling around everywhere. So it's trying to get that kind of sweet spot of being able to look around and see the other people without absolutely throwing them off course. So this is Northumberland National Park, which is flying over now. Simple like that little farmhouse certainly helps. Oh hello, look at that, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, got distracted. Yes, the detail in the scenery. I've got the Orbex mesh on as well, which seems to have added some subtle differences to it. You can just kind of see that in the landscape. It's absolutely stunning. Right, we are approaching the border with Scotland. That's where I get a little bit emotional. I'm actually English, by the way, if you hadn't told by the accent. I'm English, but when I was younger, lived up at Lossiemouth for a while, and spent a lot of time in Scotland, and I just absolutely love the place. Absolutely love it. So we've crossed the border now to Scotland. Quick look around. Just up the boost a little bit. Bring back on the RPM to 2000. I'm cruising a little bit fast there, really. the H145 in the Highlands is, it's what I do a lot of. I probably fly the H145 more often up here than I do the Spit. Absolutely love it. It really is just wonderful. Flying HEMS missions up here is just such great fun. There is that. Oh no. That's another Spit up there. Watch me flying. About to get zapped. Difference in tone now that we've dropped the RPM down. Flying the A2A Mark 2 or Mark 1 even. I think it's been a while, but that was 1800 RPM and +2 on the boost. That was quite a reasonable cruise setting. And it does make quite a difference. It's a lot more relaxed, and you can see from the speed. It's not like it makes you go slower. It just gives you a much more relaxed setting, and you're not stressing the engine so much. Just coming over Jedburgh. Jedburgh? Jedburgh. Jedburgh. It's not Jedburgh, it's Jedburgh. Or is it Jedburgh? It's Jedburgh. Jedburgh. I have to be careful now. I have this habit of once I've got a place name in my head sounding a certain way, it's very difficult to get it out. Isn't that gorgeous? Good God! What's that? Oh, wrong one. Get out of it. Let's have you. So we'll ping. What have we got? Google UK in a Hunter. Ah, okay. I was trying to work out what aircraft I had that looked like that Cold War jet, and I'd forgotten I'd got the Hunter. Quite a flight up today, and nice to see that. Look at that, gorgeous. Nice to see that multiplayer actually seems to be playing correctly, I should say. Just out of interest, is there anybody flying who cannot see us, or I haven't mentioned? Drop it in the chat. That shape of the elliptical wing, just beautiful. Look, a work of art. Oh, nice. Just try and fly evenly. A beautiful shot. Sorry, this is what happens, you see. I turn around to look at everyone and I start flying unstably, so it's hard for them to keep formation, but that's lovely. Really nice shot. Really nice. Okay, so what have we got down here? Tweedbank, Galashiels. The Great Tapestry of Scotland is down there, if you ever, if you're interested in tapestries. I don't know what it is, I'm just reading it off the map. Before anyone asks. So, yeah, once we get into the mountains proper, then we'll do a bit of low level. We've got a bit of a distance to go to get to Edinburgh. hell is he going? It'll all make sense now when you get to this point and you realise what I was saying if you're watching the stream as well. So, where is it? Shouldn't be there. I guess that is where the castle was. Nothing really to see now though. Flying going on here, lads. Right, so we can see the mountains proper up ahead. A wind farm just on the nose, so we don't really want to be flying through that. Of course, one of the advantages of flying in the sim as opposed to real life is that you can grab a mug of tea from your windowsill. If anyone hasn't got into helicopters, by the way, I wasn't really into helicopters in previous sims because they just never seemed to be, I don't know, smooth enough and all that sort of thing. I never got into X-Plane. I know X-Plane users have a completely different scenario there, and actually helicopters are quite good, I'm led to believe. But I can heartily recommend getting hold of the H145 from High Performance Group and the Action Expansion Pack and flying HEMS missions up around here. It's just beautiful. The different weather, the different scenarios. If you have a look on the channel, the last normal video I uploaded apart from the short was a HEMS flight using the Random and Anywhere mod, and you can just set that up and you can just fly random missions that it gives you after, you know, one after the other if you want to. Oh, look at that. Oh my god, that's gorgeous. Yeah, and it's just great fun. Need my head tracking to stop. There we go, that's better. Gorgeous. Yeah. It's good fun. Let's have a look at the chat. Off the wall photography, where's your Lancaster? Thank you, mate, much appreciated. I haven't got the Lancaster, I don't think it's out yet, is it? I must admit, I don't know if I will be getting it. If I do, it'll probably just be so that my multiplayer is okay and I can fly alongside it. It would be wonderful to fly alongside a Lancaster, that's for sure. I know the virtual Battle of Britain Memorial flight will be having some fun with that. Just listening to the engine there, it's come back on the boost a bit, somehow that's cranked up. Well done, Joshua. Studying should always take priority. That is the sensible way forward. As someone who didn't do enough of it when he was younger, then you know, you are doing the right thing. Life's a funny thing, isn't it? I was going to do psychology at university. Originally I was going to do law when I was younger, and I even did Latin O-level to prepare myself for it. Can you believe it? But then for some reason I decided psychology would be interesting to do, and then promptly decided that I would not bother working hard at my A-levels, and as a result didn't get my place at uni, couldn't be bothered to go through clearing and all that kind of thing, and just went straight into employment. I don't know why I'm telling you that, apart from to say studying is important. I've said it to my boys before, as boring as it sounds, having some old fart telling you to study. God, you find out too late just how important it is. Now, really, I should be concentrating. Let's have a quick ping. It's a little bit late now. As a courtesy, especially somewhere like Edinburgh, you don't want to be flying into someone's flight and getting in the way. So let's just get a bit of height. I don't think anybody is. We've got Vulcan down there. I don't think anybody is. Approach or anything like that. It's one of the frustrating things about when the multiplayer goes down is that you don't know, you can be flying around Duxford and it's empty for you. For all you know, you just pulled up in front of someone else who's on approach. It's frustrating. Ah, you are living the dream then if you're doing your ATPLs. I salute you. It's not a good thing to have a life where you have regrets. I think everybody knows that. But one thing I certainly regret is when I was younger, not sticking with flying training and not staying in the aviation industry. That was a dumbass move. Just have a wee look at the bridges. Stephen, how do you get to the black multiplayer tags? You'd have them turned on in the sim, basically. I've got mine set up to a key press, which you can now do. So I can turn them on and off at will. I tend to have them off most of the time, and also I've got parallel 42's flow. Which reduces the tags down a little bit. Sorry, I'm so kind of got lost chatting and flying. Gone completely off course. Let's come back again. Hey Julian, it's cheating, mate. I'll be completely honest with you. Started off with live weather. The sun had come out a little bit at Newcastle after an hour or so of kind of shadow, for want of a better word. As soon as we took off, we went into low cloud. It wasn't heavy overcast or anything like that, but this is a sightseeing trip, so turned off live weather, and certainly I've gone to wind weather. I've just got the fair weather preset. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not that difficult. Just so that we can see more of the scenery and get some more variations in lighting. Look at that. Let's have a quick sweep around. So we've got one spit there. Let's just check the vector level, and one on the tail. There's someone down there. I don't know if that was the one on the tail. Just check the route. Do you know what? I love days like that, Julie, where it's cold and crisp. but it's sunny. That is just beautiful. La belle France. Two spits. Looks like we've lost the hunter. He's probably accelerated off, I should think. The Hellcat? I've not seen the Hellcat. So coming up on Stirling, let's have a look at the castle. Actually, funny enough, Stirling was where I was going to go to university. It's just put the nose down. And you're? to Lossie or that way on the road. Stirling Castle for me has always been one of those kind of waypoints on the journey. There it is. Okay, get back on track. Julian, I am. I've got the mesh in, and yeah, I've noticed it too. It's funny. I don't know if it's a subtle thing. It was really interesting. Chico Mick, who's the genius behind the wonderful Duxford, the free Duxford for Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you haven't got it, it's a must-have if you're into Warbirds. He did some proper scientific testing, and actually there wasn't a huge amount in it from the test that he did. But I think it's quite subtle. I felt, and it's interesting, he raised the point, is it a placebo effect? I felt I'd noticed a big difference, but I don't know if that was the placebo effect of me just noticing things that have always been there. But I don't know, the ground just looks, this is probably not a good place to notice it, but I tend to find that there are areas where there's just kind of smaller detail, a little, you know, like a river valley, or maybe when you're in the hills and you've got some tributaries coming down off it. There's just these subtle little differences. Everything's looking good there. Good God. I think we've been joined. Let's have a look. Let's do the thing. 12. There we go. Cami in a 109. I had a feeling that was a 109. Good to have you along. You remind me, actually, I need to just get back in the 109. Googly's back as well in the Hunter. There we go. Let's get control again before we smack into one of these hills. Yeah, the 109, I've hardly flown it since I got it, but it's got lovely sounds. I just didn't fly it as enjoyable to fly as the Hellcat or the Spit. That's nothing to do with flying iron, that's just the nature of the aircraft, really. Yeah, I totally agree, Judy, and it's funny, although it doesn't include textures, it does seem to the textures do seem to pop out a little bit more. I totally get that. Around the world trip, around Australia trip, Wilga's nice. Yeah, that'd be a good flight. That I like the Wilga. I don't fly it enough. Yes, Ollie, Rex AccuSeason as well. Does make a big difference. You get these lovely autumnal colours. I'm using the round texturing as well for it. The colour changes. It does make a difference. So here we go. Coming down now into the lumpier, bumpier bits. For a long time, really, because everyone's using Microsoft Flight Sim now. So this is on the Western Europe server. So I'm just looking at the. Okay, let's wing it up here. I don't think you'll have any problems at all catching us up in the Corsair. No problems. A good place to take off from, mate, if you want to meet us, is probably million miles away from you anyway. The other alternative is Feshy Bridge. I can't remember what the ICAO is for that, but if you jump in at Feshy Bridge and just fly towards us, if you can see our labels. No worries, Julian, it'd be good to have you along. This has all been a bit spur of the moment actually. Most of my streams are. I don't have a set stream schedule. Most of the time I make kind of YouTube videos that are edited and then uploaded and that kind of thing, but every now and again I do jump in and decide to do a stream. But we do group flights, and as I say, the group flight section there isn't necessarily for me to organise them, it's for the people in the Discord to find people to fly with. So this is Rockmore. Lovely colours, sun coming out just a little bit there. That's the beauty of the Highlands in reality, is the weather and the light changes. The scenery is always different, it's always shifting, it looks never looks the same. And it's the same in the sim. The lighting in the sim is just so good that you can be flying along and all of a sudden the sun pops out and you just have this amazing amazing view. I love the way the tops of those mountains just in the sun there, for example. Makes me wish I was in the H145, because then you could fly up there and land on the top, get out, sit down, make a brew. This is Loch Tay. Too low, because I keep looking over at the map and looking at the things, and that's the point at which I'd end up swimming. You can just see it, but let's have a look. Get there quick enough. What I also love about the sim is, of course, the water up here is very peaty, and stick my head through the glass, you can just kind of see, maybe not so much here, but quite often when you look at the shorelines, where it's actually the photo scenery is picked up the colour of the water, you get that beautiful kind of peaty water. I wonder how many people out there now are thinking, Jesus Christ, this guy is so boring, he's talking about the colour of the water now. sim. I'm just gonna put this out there and just see if anyone else feels the same way. And this is that's a screenshot just there. Elliptical wing, loch, mountains, lighting. Watch where you're going. Do you find in this sim, and actually to be fair, I used to feel it as well in P3D. It's just that in P3D I didn't know any better. I didn't know what it was like to fly in MSFS in the scenery. Do you find that you can be flying in an area and you almost lose sense of the real world? For example, you could be flying somewhere that you know well, that you really love, and a different time of day to what's, you know, the live time and everything, and you come off a flight and you suddenly come back into the real world and it's dark and it's, you know, midnight, something like that. But for that time that you were flying in the sim, you were kind of transported to this part of the world at this time. Be interested to know if anyone else gets that same feeling. I find sim flying so incredibly relaxing. If I've had a busy day, I just find exactly doing this sort of thing just so relaxing because it transports me somewhere else. So yeah, stick it in the chat. I want to know if you feel the same. Hey Guy, how you doing? Good to see you here, mate. Cooking lunch? Okay. What are you cooking? I'm always up for a chat about food. So just coming up on, what's this? Loch Rannoch Hotel and Estate. So we've just come over them. They're just on the side of the loch here. And of course this is Loch Rannoch we're coming into now. Listening to that engine a little bit. Yeah, totally agree off the wall. Totally agree. These days is just having the time to do it, which is difficult because my day job is quite busy and home life is quite busy, so I have to grab my time when I can, but it is just so relaxing. Oh Guy, fish and chips, oh my god, I wish you hadn't gone there actually, because I have. My eyes have started watering, my mouth has started watering, and I've now got severe food envy. God, I've not had fish and chips in a while. Impressed that you're making them as well. Are you doing like the full deep fat fryer thing? So it's Mrs. Guy that's doing the cooking. I see. Now I get it. I'm seriously having a moment here thinking about fish and chips. So we'll just turn over here. This is our turning point. Bonjour Patrice. Join the Discord. I put it at the top of the chat, or it'll be in the description below. We do group flights and that sort of thing, so it kind of gets announced in there. And I think I'm probably going to be doing more of this kind of streaming group flights as well. This was more of a stream where
I said, you know, if anyone wants to come along, come along. But it actually works quite well. There's the Hunter over there. Hunter is rather beautiful. But yeah, join the Discord, mate. That's the answer. Oh, the scenery. Guy, do you know what? I've got to be honest with you, mate. I am partial to the oven fish and chips as well. So, and apologies for going into too much detail. And I'm not talking posh oven fish and chips. I'm not talking about any of that beer battered kind of thing. I love bird's eye cod fillet in breadcrumbs, oven cooked to the point where you could use it as a weapon. Really, that with some oven chips and, I hate to say it, baked beans. I'm not fussy. That three combination with lots of vinegar, salt, and ketchup is just beautiful. Oh God, what am I doing to myself? I'm trying to concentrate on flying, and now I can just see a plate of fish and chips in front of me. Womble, good to see you, mate. Yeah, we'll see you in the skies. Good to have you along. Hey, Peter. Cleaning out the garage. That's an evil thing to do on a Saturday morning. I'm just being lazy and flying. Look at that. Lovely spit. I'll tell you what really makes it worse, Guy, is that my lunch today I don't know if I can say it. I don't know if I can bring myself to say it. It's actually making me quite emotional. My lunch today is a bloody protein shake. Just going to let that sink in for a moment. God, I hate January. What happened to Christmas? What happened to that sheer abandonment of anything goes? If it's in the cupboard, if it's food, eat it. So what if it's deep fried? Eat it. More chocolate? Yeah. Does it come with chips? Great. Real mayonnaise, not that low fat stuff. And now it's back to normal again. Oh, Guy. Air fryers are where it's at. Air fryers are where it's at. Everyone's been telling me, oh, until you've got an air fryer, you don't know what you're missing. And I didn't get it, but we bought one just before Christmas. And my God, they're amazing. The stuff that Mrs. Dreams was knocking out. I mean, it was almost obscene. It was like Mars bars in puff pastry and the kind of stuff that you don't do in normal life, but you get an air fryer and it's like, whoa, what happens if? That's Dalwhinnie down there. That distillery. Diageo, I can't, but it's that's the owner. If I zoom in, if it'll actually say, I'm trying to remember the name of the distillery. Dalwhinnie, funnily enough. Yeah, a bit of geography there just to break up the food talk. I slowly lose my mind. Food and flying. That's where it's at. That was nice. That was a nice little pass in the front there. Yeah, thank you, Guy. As I quaff my delicious, nutritious shake, I'll
be thinking of you and your big plate of fish and chips. And my eyes are watering again. Mind you, I can't complain because we're having Chinese takeaway tonight. Should we do the sensible thing? Just have a quick look at the fuel. Loads of fuel. I try and get in the habit of doing that, even though I'm starting off knowing I've got fuel. Hello! It's always good to have a check that you have fuel, because otherwise it gets a bit painful. So we got Lagan over that way. If you ever watched Monica the Glen, that's down that away, where they did a lot of the filming and where the Bogle house is. There's a campsite down there. We've got Newton Moor up on the nose. This is the splendour of the Cairngorm National Park. Somewhere where I do quite a bit of camping. I'm hoping to get up here this year actually. Didn't get there last year. And absolutely missed it, which is why I spent a lot of time up here in the sim. Trying really hard to forget about Guy's fish and chips. Oh, saw something then. Yeah, that's because I'm wafting around looking. Let's have a look outside, that's probably the best thing. There we go. Sorry guys, fast right turn over here. Now I do have some third-party scenery, but it is in the sim, albeit in quite a basic form. Is Feshy Bridge, where the Cairngorm Gliding Club is. Look at those mountains. I'm slowly forgetting Guy's Fish and Chips because of the mountains. But over here is Feshy Bridge that you can find in the sim. EGZL, I think that says. I never type in the IKO, I just go there on the map. So this is Feshy Bridge here. As I say, I've got some third party that I got from flightsim.to, but there is it does appear in the sim. And that's a great little grass strip. It's a great little base if you want to fly in the area. You know, whether it's GA, Stoll, for example, if you are flying helicopters, that kind of thing. It's a great little base. And you've got all this. This is your playground. And for helicopters, you've got the Cairngorm. Should we go and have a look? Who wants to have a look? Me. Okay. Sorry guys. Right turn. Is actually in the sim. I think it might be one of the POIs. I can't remember now if it's a POI or it's Autogen, but should see that as we come around here. There it is. Morley coming up here. Regulars to the channel at this point and say, oh Christ, here he goes again.
This is Morley, this is Cairngorm Mountain, this is where I went camping.
There's the boating area down there, and then also up here, just a little bit, let's just weak it round. There we have Morley Beach, which is a beach. It's lovely in the summer on a hot day. It's gorgeous down there. There's the big campsite. And here, so I was going to say, sorry, I meant to say the reason bringing you there, the beach, great place to take a helicopter. If you want to set up a practice HEMS mission on the beach. There's plenty of space there to land a helicopter. And again, I've got some scenery. It's God, I can't remember the name of it. It's on flightsim.to. It's Cairngorm something. It might be Cairngorm Hems or something like that, which is added a bit more detail. But again, down there you've got the that's the Cairngorm Mountain Ski Centre. So you've got some space up there. Funicular railway up here. Again, this is added by the third-party scenery, and then at the top you've got the ptarmigan. That's what it used to be called. I don't know what it's called now. But you used to be able to walk or go on the funicular railway up here, grab a hot chocolate and a butty and a slab of cake, have a look at the scenery and go, oh, look at that, it's beautiful. So that's another good one for doing HEMS, search and rescue, all that kind of stuff. It's just a gorgeous area. When I was younger, I had this dream that I would move up here, live in a bothy somewhere and write novels. And then when I had enough money, buy a little castle in the middle of nowhere up here. The green lock just up the tip of the wing. See that? It's another well-known place around here. Anyway, look, end of. If you know the channel, you've seen that enough. Yeah, Tatsim, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And one of the things I love about this sim is I remember with FSX. Do you remember that? If you're old enough, you remember the God, what was it? I can't remember the brand, but it was the photo scenery that you could get, and you'd get but everything was kind of flat. I mean, obviously you had a certain amount of topography, but you didn't have any objects, you didn't have any autogen or trees. And then they did a tree pack, and that was amazing, saying, oh, that's where I live, but it didn't have life to it. Whereas this has got everything. This has got the photo scenery, it's got the trees, it's got the buildings, it's got the lighting. Just stunning. Right, let's concentrate. So that's Aviemore over there, sorry. That's Aviemore over there. And we're going to turn over here, turn over Motorguard. Oh, that's interesting, Tatsim. So was it one of those occasions where you were obviously feeling very sorry for your mate?
Another friendly. Good to have you with us.
Alexander, welcome to the channel. Great to have you on board. Yeah, it was one of those occasions where you are obviously very concerned for your mate, because that's the priority. Make sure that your mate is okay, but actually secretly thinking, wow, this is kind of cool. He got the hems out. Look at that. Gorgeous. So let's get back on track here. So we've got the famous River Spey now. Absolutely. I think that the way to look at it is when a situation like that occurs, it's making the best of it, isn't it? It's finding that silver lining, as you say. It's making lemonade out of lemons, or whatever they say. And it would be rude not to take the opportunity to have a good look around the helicopter. Never been anywhere near a modern HEMS helicopter. I guess in a way that's a good thing, but I'd certainly love to have a look at an H145, having flown it in the sim. I was lucky enough to get in an old RAF Sea King, got back in the early 80s. Sit up front, and that was rather special. Quick look outside. Wonderful, look at that. Nice to see the 109 there as well. As I was saying earlier, I do need to drag that out and spend the time with it. It's one of the things I'm really finding hard at the moment, is getting decent time in the sim. There's a huge danger of becoming a jack of all trades and a master of none. And you know, I've got the DC-6, I've got the 109, and I just really don't fly them, and I should do. Feel the waft of your propeller, sunshine. It's rather nice. Stingray. No, this is we're in basically. I'm just on multiplayer. I'm on the Western European server with don't you. There we go. We're back. Rather nasty pause there. Yeah, Western European server, just with all multiplayer on really, and these. Fine wingmen are all from the Discord. I put a link at the top of this, and also if you're watching this on catch up, there'll be a link down below. But if you join the Discord, then we do group flights and that sort of thing. But these are all live human beings what I've joined, and they're all members of the Dreams of Wings Discord. Since I last said it, not using live weather, using the few clouds, or sorry, fair weather. Is it fair weather or few clouds preset? I think it's few clouds, isn't it? Because taking off from Newcastle went straight into misty murk, and this is a sightseeing flight. So had to cheat on the weather a bit just so we can see the scenery. Tatsim, I don't want to say it, mate, because I don't know you, but are you by any chance a harbinger of doom? Do you bring about bad luck for all your mates? Or are you just trying to rack up as many HEMS sightings as you can? I have to say I'm impressed though. At least you're spreading it around the country. That's good. That is good. Yeah, Stingray, I love the DC3, and again, you've actually mentioned it. The DC3 is another one with the mods that are out there now. That's another one that I need to spend more time with, and it's certainly less switch flicking and all that kind of thing than the DC6 is. I love looking at the DC6, but I'm too lazy to learn to, you know, how to operate everything. That's the Craig Ellicky Bridge down there. It's an old Thomas Telford bridge. Nice hotel there as well. Got an amazing, I don't drink whiskey, I must admit, but they've got an amazing whiskey bar, whiskey library, maybe. I'm sure I've heard that used before. Yeah, it's quite incredible. Keep him busy, Tatsim. You know, maybe do the old look, there's a insert your aircraft of choice, and then yeah, take the checklist, quickly jump in. If they catch you, you can just say that you're just, you know, warming it up for them, or just tell them that you're a CAA licensed inspector and that you're just checking the airworthiness of the aircraft. So this is Rothes Glen. Be a castle here, but I don't know if we're going to see much. I think the answer to that is a big no. It's just down there. I think the oxygen has just plonked a house in. So we've got a quarry going on. So we should get a good sight of the coast soon. Of course, we've got the just in the distance. See the Western Islands. Coming up on Elgin, and watch the lines, and then Lossie is kind of over there, somewhere in the centre of the screen. Yeah, I've got the power lines out on as well for really when I'm doing hemp stuff, so I have to be a little bit careful of those. Right, I'm going to lock head tracking so I don't do your eyeballs in. So we've got a Typhoon and we've got a Vulcan at Lossie. Typhoon, not sure if he's on approach, but just being a little bit mindful, as I said before, that I don't want to ruin anyone's day by ruining their flight by blatting in like an idiot, so just something I need to be conscious of. Got buzzed by an F-18 there. Apologies for the cough there. Here's Elgin. Cathedral's down there, but I don't think we're really going to see it in the sim. Oh, nasty pause. Getting fewer of those nasty pauses these days, but certainly rather annoyed. Oh, while I quickly think about it, if you watch the previous streams or videos where I was getting that disconnection thing popping up, it disconnects and then it very quickly connects again and stay out of the circuit. Sorry guys. Then the reason for it, certainly for me, was because I had rolling cache on as well. And I don't know if it's a conflict between the Orbex mesh and the rolling cache, but as soon as I turned off the rolling cache, which I don't need anymore because my internet's a bit quicker, yeah, turned off the rolling cache and the problem went away. So here's Lossiemouth itself. Lossie Beach is down there. I can't express just how beautiful this place is. Really is lovely. There's Lossie itself. Let's just check that there's nothing coming in. We ruined someone's day. I think this is Nick. I want to say it's Nick B007. It's his scenery from flightsim.to. It's wonderful. It's been a long time since I've been on the airfield itself, but it looks right to me. And of course you've got the Poseidon down there now. Plenty of those. But yeah, it's a lovely area, this. It really is. Right, need to start thinking about aviating. Let's. I am going to put the. I don't like having the labels on, but out of courtesy for other people, I'm going to put them on just so we don't get in anyone's way. Right, so we've got 2 Typhoons in on finals there. So looking at the weather, we've got 4 knots coming from 272, which means we're going to take. Yeah, I'll take 28. That one. So just see where those chaps have gone. So they've definitely landed. Do a run-in and brake on 2.8 and then do a landing, which hopefully will go nice and smoothly. This is what I'm talking about, being a jack of all trades and a master of none. I only used to fly Spitfire in that's not true. I used to fly the Spitfire, Mustang and Harvard or T6 Texan in P3D, and since I got into MSFFF I'm flying everything all the time. So the Spit that I used to be able to fly instinctively these days sometimes bites me in the arse if I do something silly. So the Vulcan's actually out there. I thought the Vulcan was on the ground here, but it's actually way out there. I wonder if that's over at Wick. Just overcooked that slightly. On finals. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Amazing. Okay, let's concentrate on flying again. Another Typhoon in the circuit. Good to see you, mate. Okay, let's come round again. must be. I'm going to assume he is, but I'm going to land on this one. So let's dangle the old Dunlops. Yeah, he's coming in. I'm just going to teardrop it a little bit because I need to do a curved approach, so I don't want to end up doing a straight in. I just want to fit it around him, so there we go. Deploy the flappage, as they don't say, at the Bannerbrett Memorial Flight. A little bit high. Gone over to the right a little bit too far. Straighten it up. Ooh, be careful there. Nearly slammed it down. Be most rude. Right on the edge of the runway like a plonker. There we go. There we go. Right, flaps up. Let's should have opened the canopy before, just for the sticklers for history. Yes, the canopy should have been open. Scenery. I've got all sorts of Poseidons going on here, which are going to be in the way of everyone else. You haven't got the scenery. If there's something, or if there's anything that a Spit loves more than life itself, it's a nice long dawdling taxi, just so that the engine can really get nice and toasty. Significance of Lossiemouth with Spitfires, of course, is from recent history anyway, is the Silver Spitfire came here. Just thought I'd chuck that useless piece of information in there for you. But honestly, I was going to open the throttle a little bit there just to clear the plugs, but for some reason my throttle is jammed. Not quite sure what's going on there. I can move it in the sim, but my throttle lever is doing nothing. No idea why, but it's... I should have to have a look at that. Right, let's have a look outside. Lovely, look at that. Look at that, all those spits. They're raised up probably because they either haven't got the mesh or the same scenery, which is just one of those things that happens, unfortunately. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming along. For everyone who's stuck with it, who's watched the stream, and who came along for the flight, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. I will just quickly say again, let's just lock that. Let's put it in a less jaunty angle, eh? Right, let's just put it in the chat here. Someone doing a cheeky flyby. Just put it in the chat there. We've got a Discord. We talk about aeroplanes, helicopters. We've even got a photography section now. We've got a model making section now, if you're brave enough to get the glue and all that kind of stuff out. We do group flights as well. But it's just a really nice bunch of people, really good community, some very clever people as well. There's a community help section there if you've got any questions about simming or aviation. Some very clever people there. And it's just a great community, what can I say? It's the people that make it. It's not a community about the channel, it's a community of people who like the same kind of stuff and have just gravitated through the channel or through people that they know and are into warbirds and that kind of thing. So yeah, it would be great to see you there. Otherwise, as I say, thanks for coming along. It's been wonderful having you on board for the flight, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. So take care now and goodbye, and enjoy your lunch. Yeah, fish and chips. That's got me thinking about fish and chips.